Oh my gosh, y'all. It has been such a long day. I got a lot done, and that's a great thing. However, I realized that after the very long day that I had, I need some TLC. And I bet you have been through something before. You've had a long day, things went crazy, they didn't go as planned, or maybe you had a long week. Like, to be honest, it's Monday. So it's not even like Thursday or Wednesday or Friday to where people would say you earned rest. But let this video be a reclamation for yourself that it doesn't matter what day it is, you can reclaim rest. There's this weird thought process out there, or limiting belief, I guess you can call it, where people feel like they have to be dog out, drug out, tired in order to reclaim rest, in order to say, you know what, I think I want to go to bed a little early tonight. And there's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, a wonderful friend of mine, her and her husband are very sweet to us. But I talked to him recently and he told me that he was going to take a nap because he has earned naps at this age. He can now have naps. He said that he's just now earning the right to nap. And me being me, and me raising my daughter the way that I've raised my daughter, we're kind of like, what? That don't even sound right because we had just got done taking a nap. So, what are you talking about? So, today, what I want to talk about is you're not tired, you're under ceremonied. What does that mean? That means that women, the feminine, we need ritual. We need a consistent flow, a consistency of our schedule and our flow and our beingness. We need something that we can always turn back to whenever we so happen to choose to. We need to know that there's something that is available that can regulate our nervous system, can regulate our tired bodies, our tired minds that's going out here and conquering the world. We need a soft space to land desperately. We are created to rest and flow. And sometimes it's like we got this fire hose and it's cranked all the way to the max to where we are exerting full force and energy to where there is no flow, there is no rest, there is no being, there is only full force doing. And when we're in that space, I'm going to say that's okay because sometimes life calls for that, but most time it doesn't. But if we're trying to unlearn from that space, then it's okay. But you need to know that you have something to return to, right? And what that thing is sacred ceremony. Ceremony can take you from a tired, restless, be, have it all, do it all, be there for everyone, to a soft and flowy and happy and rejuvenated and rested, beautiful woman, beautiful feminine, beautiful energy. So, we're going to talk about some reasons why you're unceremonied and how you could probably change some things in your life to get more ceremonied so that you can feel celebrated, rested, restored, and all those good things, right? Okay, let's get started. My name is Ebony. I'm from Embodied Playgirl, where we talk about how to get free, and we don't care how you get free, just be free, right? Number one, ceremony interrupts autopilot. Yeah. So you're always getting up at the same time, going to work at the same time, getting in the car and going to traffic at the same time, dropping the kids off at the same time, coming home at the same time, cooking dinner at the same time, and going to bed at the same time. I mean, you could do this every day with your eyes closed. Every day you could do this. But ceremony stops it dead in its tracks and says, hey, I know we've been doing the same thing the same way every day, but you need something dedicated especially to you, for you, by you. Ceremony means I'm taking a step away to create ritual for myself where I love on myself, where I celebrate myself, where I rest, where I flow, and where I be. And it's necessary. Number two, it reclaims that beautiful feminine place. We are rest flow, rest flow, rest flow. That is our cycle. when we're breaking that cycle, it's possible, it's doable, but you'll find yourself getting angry at people, shouting in traffic, making arguments where there are none, making a drama where there is none, feeling upset, feeling sad, maybe even feeling depressed because you have broken the rest flow cycle. When you introduce ceremony, it gets you back on track. It's like, I did this for myself and it feels so good. And now I'm back in the cycle of rest flow. Flow is containing all the things you have to do. It can contain all the things you have to do: work, cook, do all the things, but there's a way to do those things in a flow state, in a state where you're enjoying yourself. There used to be a time when I felt like I had to cook with my shoes on. I would come home from work at 5 p.m., right? And I wouldn't even take my shoes off because I felt like if I took my shoes off, I would be too relaxed and nothing would get done. So I would clean the house, I would cook dinner, all with my shoes on. It took some years later for me to hear someone else playing music as they cook to realize this is not a freaking like terrible, like horrible task to do. This can be a fun thing to do. Now, I do love cooking, but it's always been duty driven. It for a while it wasn't like restful driven or flow driven or fun driven. So one day I took my shoes off and I put on a YouTube playlist and I just jammed out and I cooked my food and my baby came in the kitchen and we danced and we talked, and somehow some way in that talk the food got done, and I can't remember how it happened, but me and her sat on the floor in the hallway right outside of the kitchen and we talked about life, and I told her a story about what it was like to be a kid before I had her because I had her very young, and what I had to carry and what things came to me and obstacles I had to fight and get over and get through and climb up. And from that space, I cried. I cried, she cried, we hugged, and she had a deeper understanding of me. And I promise you, my daughter has always been a great kid, but her compassion and love for me, I could just see it just widen and expanded. And I don't think I would have ever got in that place had I not reclaimed the feminine pace, not only for myself, but for her. It's important that she got to see me flow, that she got to see me rest, that she got to see me do something and not look at it as a duty, but do it because I enjoyed it. So reclaim your feminine pace with ceremony. That leads me to number three. It can turn the most mundane of tasks into magic. I mean, I'm talking, you got to go to CVS, right? And maybe you reclaim your ritual, you reclaim your ceremony by maybe just parking the car in the CVS parking lot and taking a moment to breathe. Maybe you played music on your way to CVS. And maybe when you walked inside, you didn't walk directly over to the Tylenol for your headache. And you instead got like a bottle of water because you're probably dehydrated, and maybe some dark chocolate as a nice little pick me up. And then you got the Tylenol. And then you got in the car and came back to yourself to take another breath in the car before going off. It's about breaking up or interrupting the forcefulness that life can provide to us sometimes by giving ourselves that rest break. Here's a nice little rest stop to have. And also, I wanted to include the reason why I even got this idea for this video is because I'm freaking tired today. I'm tired. I've had a long day, and I decided that I would go ahead and get me some lavender baby wash because that's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things to bathe with every now and again. I fell in love with it when my daughter was a baby, and I tried the little nighttime sleepy body wash, and it just is so relaxing and put me to sleep. So I said I'm going to do that tonight. And then I have my notebook and a book over here and my laptop if I want to watch some YouTube. And even though my bedtime's not for 4 hours, I'm going to lay in this bed that I'm sitting on and I'm going to look at YouTube and I'm going to read my book and I'm going to write and do the things that I enjoy doing. And I'm going to do that until it's time for bed, and then I'm going to go to sleep right after this video is done. But That's what creating ritual and ceremony is like for your body. I could have just said, I'm gonna come in here and jump straight in the shower with that regular bar soap that I use and get in the bed. But I decided to make it special for myself. I decided to pick up the body wash that I like, a body wash that reminds me of when my baby was a baby. I'm gonna write and journal because I love to do that. It's one of my favorite things to do. I'm gonna read an excerpt of a book. Matter of fact, today, the book that I'm well here lately, the book that I've been reading is The Artist's Way. I'm going to do that because I've been meaning to get around to reading more of this book. Um, I'm going to turn the mundane into magic. That's what ceremony is, and that's what you deserve. Number four, it becomes a compass whenever life gets overloaded. You may not even be in your body enough to make certain decisions that could catapult your next step, that can make that next thing that you do compound in interest because you were in your body to decide. When you're outside of your body and you're up in the clouds and you're not grounded at all, you're making decisions based off of survival. When you decide to take that back, get into some ritual, breathe, get in the body, you're able to think in a way that includes your brain, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, and not just the task. So you allow that to guide you on what you should do next instead of what I have to do next. And that creates a lot of magic. And number five, like I think this is my favorite. It helps you get in relationship with yourself. You know that like whenever you're dating somebody, you would not let weeks and weeks and weeks go on without doing something special for them. I don't care if you got that person a haircut, got them a sweet treat from the store, if you massaged them down, if you made sure dinner was cooked at 8 o'clock when they got home, you would make sure those things were done. You would make sure you're doing that at least once a week for that person to make them feel special. Why are we any different? Why all of a sudden when it comes to us, we don't matter as much or it's not that important? It is that important. It's that important. It is. You can admit it. It's that important. It's that honorable. It's that magical. And it's that possible. It doesn't take but a second to do something sweet for yourself and create true relationship with yourself. That is the most important relationship there is. If you can't have peace and calm and happiness and fulfillment and nourishment from you to you, how can you, number one, expect anyone else to do it for you because you don't know what it looks like. You don't even know what you like. Somebody, if you don't know what you like, they talk about the five love languages. What if somebody is giving you gifts and you're really not even a gift girl? You're an acts of service girl. Maybe you bossed up and you don't really need gifts like that, but you could really appreciate somebody washing your car. How are you going to know that if you never stepped outside of your comfort zone and say, you know what, I'm going to get a car wash membership and see how I like that? Oh, this is really nice. How are you going to know that? There's little things that you can do for yourself where you reclaim time and space for yourself and you put your foot down and you say, no, this is for me. I am honoring me. I am loving on me. This is important to me. When we do that, oh my goodness, the blossom that life gives us is so beautiful. It's so bright. It's so yummy. It's so delicious. It's so enjoyable. It's something that we get to really plant our feet in and ground in. And it's just great. I just think you should do it. So, anyways, I hope these tips helped. I hope they made you think about why you should create more ceremony, more ritual, more lusciousness into your life. There's nothing wrong with it. You deserve it. Now, if you are thinking about doing this and you don't quite know how to get started, guess what? On May 25th, Sunday, May 25th, 2025, that's coming up. This literally very soon, this next Sunday, I am hosting a new service that I am calling Soft Church Sunday. Now, it's not religious, it's more spiritual, but this is a embodiment practice of how we can create ritual and routine and ceremony by getting deep in connection with ourselves, deep in connection with our bodies, honoring both the lightness of ourselves and the darkness of ourselves to understand that we are just a full embodiment of beauty. even the ugly parts that we deem ugly, all of that, all of that, it takes all parts to make up this beautiful version of you. So if you're interested in joining that, it's a 1 hour session, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this Sunday, May 25th. And I really hope to see you there. I'm going to drop a link so that you can join if you'd like to. It is absolutely free. It's my special collective spiritual offer. It's something that I've always done for myself. And I said, you know what? I could see this being helpful for other people. So if you're the other people that you can see it being helpful for, sign up below.